station to pick up a friend, and then we're off to Luton Airport. So we were meant to be going to Israel tomorrow, but with the current lockdowns and stuff in Israel, it just wasn't possible. So we wondered where we should go and stuff with the couple of days off work, and found a cracking deal on EasyJet for £49 return to Iceland. So we're off to Keflavik tomorrow, which should be good. And, yeah, lots planned for the next couple of days while we're out there. Although I'm not looking forward to leaving this 25-degree heat, going to 12 degrees and wet and windy by the look of it. So right, here with Neil.
Hello everybody.
You'll know him from Moments in the Sky. We're at Premier Inn, Luton Airport. So I'm going to leave the car here for the 3 days. It's a lot cheaper than leaving it in a long stay car park. It cost me about £10 more to stay here for the night and leave the car than it was for the long stay. So yeah, time for some food.
50% off tonight.
Yeah, time for some cheap food.
Cheap food, yeah, yeah.
We arrived at Luton Airport just after 3:30, and as the clubroom's lounge is currently closed, we headed for the newly refurbished Aspire Lounge, which had actually opened that morning at 4 AM. So we were actually the first guest inside. So it was time for a sausage bap and a cup of coffee. Followed shortly after by a glass of red wine. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. It's a lovely morning in Luton, and we even managed to push back a few minutes early. During my teens and early 20s, I was very nervous of flying, and I used to hate this part of the flight, lining up for the runway. I'm not so bad now, and for anyone out there who is nervous of flying, you can get over it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the takeoff. Flight time today was around 2 3/4 hours, so I settled down with a film, a beer and a pack of Pringles.
Thank you very much on behalf of the crew for choosing to fly EastJet today. We shall see now because it's a forward journey.
Before long we were on our descent into Keflavik Airport. The weather just wasn't quite as nice as Luton. Then time to have the dreaded COVID test, which is required on entry if you don't want to quarantine. We've arrived in Iceland, very cold and wet, you may be able to see, and Just had the COVID test, which was not very nice at all, and yeah, took them 3 goes to get the swab from the back of my throat, and then a stick right up my nose, which I think probably reached the brain. So I'm going to go and get our rental car now, and then 2.5 hours drive down towards Vic, where we're going to go and see a few things, hopefully. We made it to the car park. It's about 2.5 hours drive from the airport. It's very windy, but the views are spectacular. It's the glacier behind me, and I'm going to head off in that direction, about 2 miles to the plane wreck. This is the famous DC3 that crashed here in, I think, 1969. It was American Forces plane doing an equipment run back to Reykjavik, and all 7 crew survived, but they didn't really get to the bottom of why it crashed. Obviously never going to fly again. inside, find the lesser spotted Neil Smith. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that you can catch next week's video with part 2 of my trip to Iceland.